premise of dating game show Take Me Out is simple. An eligible man is presented to 30 women, and in successive rounds they find out more about him. If any of the women are still attracted to him after each round, they keep their lights on. Otherwise, they are free to turn them off to indicate that they don't want to go on a date with him after the show. But what about the first impression you create? Your looks. Look at the women's facial expressions throughout this segment.
Dag dames, ik ben Johnny, 21 jaar jong en ik kom uit Den Haag.
Mag ik het horen voor Johnny? Johnny uit Den Haag! En je maten! Goed dan. Johnny is een vrolijke jongen en zo is hij het heel basic. Ja, toch qua uiterlijk, heel basic. Het uiterlijk, daar gaat het om, daar mag je hem op beoordelen. Dus hou je het aan of maak je het uit. Een paar seconden bedenktijd en die tijd die gaat nu in.
The chart at the bottom of the screen is similar to the one you saw in What Attracts Women 1.1 during the street survey. The leftmost face is very masculine. It shows high testosterone, the steroid hormone that men's bodies tend to have in abundance compared to women's bodies. Testosterone is responsible for development of secondary sexual characteristics such as increased muscle, bone mass, and the growth of body hair. Each face, as you move to the right in the chart, looks increasingly less testosteronic and more estrogenic. Estrogens are primary female sex hormones. Men's bodies have these, but to a lesser extent. Now look at Johnny above. Notice the lack of testosteronic development? He looks like a hermaphrodite lesbian. He has a roundish jaw, an undefined short chin, and chubby cheeks compared to the angular jaw, prominent broad tall chin, and prominent cheekbones of the leftmost high testosterone male in the chart. Besides Johnny's poor genetic development, he's also overweight. Notice the double chin. As a bonus, he has big ears, a noticeably asymmetrical face, lack of masculine brow, and other flaws. His looks literally telegraph that he's of low genetic quality. How will women behave on seeing his looks? His anger, as you'll see next, is a reflection of how women treat him precisely because of his looks.
Mag je nu drukken? Rustig. Elise! Wat hard jongens. Wat nou?
Ja, mag ik nog wat zeggen?
Maar...
Dat dacht ik al.
Ja, nou ja, weet je,
ik wil wat zeggen.
Je mag wat zeggen, tuurlijk mag je wat zeggen. Dat mag je altijd.
Het zijn allemaal potten.
Het zijn allemaal potten.
And how do women behave in the presence of a good-looking man?
I'm David, and I'm from Berkshire.
David from Berkshire, girls, are you turned on or turned off? Hello! Oh, 30 lights still on. You're a good-looking little scamp, aren't you?
David, you are H-O-T-T-T-T-T-T. Do you know what I like best about you, David? You're obviously a really good-looking boy.
Nikki, tell me why your light's still on.
I'm struggling to understand why you're single. Why are you single?
Blue-pilled guys watching this will say, but this is a TV game show, it's not real. But remember, women won't tell the truth about a man's looks if they fear judgment or repercussions, so all we have to rely on is their behavior. So far, the behavior in this game show coincides with that seen in the dating experiments, and with what Professor Frank L. Connor said based on scientific behavioral studies on women. Notice how no women wondered why Johnny was still single. Looks red pill. If you aren't physically attractive to most women, then by definition you are physically unattractive, but not necessarily ugly. Note, to be physically attractive you actually have to attract highly sought after women consistently and frequently, relying mostly on your looks. Feeling attractive isn't the same thing, nor does it produce the same results. How many attractive young women call you handsome each week? Can you imagine a woman treating an average looking guy like this?
Okay, Max, you are one handsome guy. Whoa. Whew. For 200, the childhood prank known as a wet willy involves putting a wet finger in someone's what? Anywhere you want to put it, Max. All right. Ear?
Would it suffice if I just gave you one? Would that suffice?
She said put it in her mouth. Yeah, I mean her motherfucking mouth.
That's my final answer.
Red pill self-awareness. Does your lower third look like the one on the left or right? The left jaws lack the angularity, forward growth, definition, and leanness of the right. The man on the left also has a receding chin. Dating in the Dark is a dating show in which men and women have a series of dates in the dark to see if they have any chemistry without looks being a factor. Then comes the light reveal, in which they get to see each other. After that, they can either continue to date the other person or walk away.
Will they find true love based on personality alone?
Often, even when there is chemistry, a woman learning that the man she's been dating is not good looking is a deal breaker.
If they have this great personality, you're just going to hope that they have that great looks to match.
Heads to hoping they look good. There was definitely some chemistry there. We had great connection when we talked. Like, everything seemed right, but I have no idea what I just kissed in there. I hope to God that when I was revealed, I don't have this guy that looks like Shrek.
There's chemistry between me and Matt.
While his personality created chemistry, the only chemical reaction that his looks created was vaginal dehumidification. Looks red pill. Balding is a sexual death sentence for most men, as they don't have the facial aesthetics, masculinity, or skull shape to pull it off. Most men cite personalities like Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, as guys who are still attractive to women while bald or balding. Jason Statham used to work as a male model for French Connection. The Rock's Samoan heritage contributes to his robust masculinity. These high-status men are above average looking for their age. The average man can't afford the hitting looks that comes from losing hair. If your dating life isn't amazing while you have hair, it likely won't get any better sporting a balding look. Leaving your balding hair to grow will make you look beta, older and uglier, while shaving it off completely will still cause a massive drop in looks for a below average or average looking man. England footballer Wayne Rooney looks more robust and younger after we Photoshop him. He now has hair on the crown and a hairline. In future episodes, we'll discuss the few options you have if suffering from this devastating looks killer.
Wait, tell me. I don't know. He had like a receding hairline. Oh no!
He's not like a bad-looking guy. He's just not, the charming, good looks, dashing Prince Charming. Yeah.
Looks red pill. More and more in the West, even being an average looking guy doesn't cut it anymore, because for a woman, lots more attractive options are only a dating app swipe, online dating click, or bar visit away, and she doesn't even have to make the first move.
Wow.
He's like kind of like total like real scruff, chubby face. He had a gut. Could I see this person on top of me? Like yes or no? No.
The pickup art community teaches that women aren't so much attracted by looks, and that men can attract women by learning behaviors that show confidence, dominance, and personality. This is called game. Although there is some truth to pickup art, much of it is based on erroneous theories. Master pickup artists or dating coaches purport to teach their students how to get sex and dates via various seduction routines and flirty methods. Here are some blue-pilled lies from dating coach Savoy.
Do your looks matter? The answer to that is yes and no. Whether a guy is good looking has way more to do with his fashion and grooming and who he's with. And you can turn a guy from being a 2 into an 8 in a couple hours at a mall and a couple $100.
Fashion cannot turn a male 2 into a male 8. Face and body, not clothes, make the man. Rob Evans doesn't look like this because of his clothes. Here is some promotional footage of short East Asian American guy, Andrew Forraday, using pickup techniques to seduce 3 Irish white women on holiday in the United States. He's 5'5". Statistically, most white women don't date interracially. Even fewer date short, below average to average looking Asian men. But can Andrew's pickup skills save him?
Do you like pineapples? I love pineapples. We should get married on the spot. Right here.
No, I can't.
No, I can't. Even knowing that he's joking, her instincts kick in. but this guy is oblivious because of his gung-ho pickup art. Confidence wins the game, indoctrination. Notice how the guy is entertaining them? This is often how pickups go. But watch when he tries to get their phone numbers.
What are you guys doing tomorrow night? Because if you guys can stay yelling pineapples and this much fun all the time, I want to invite you guys out.
Oh, where?
Why do you just give me the death stare?
And you're done. 10 minutes of pickup, 0 minutes of sex. Attracting a woman via game can work occasionally, but usually, overwhelmingly, game will just delay your rejection if the woman isn't physically attracted to you. It's no surprise that this short guy, a manlet, got into pickup art to help him get women. As you'd expect, the pickup art community is mostly full of pickup artist students who are unsuccessful with women because of being average looking, being below average looking, being short, being an ethnic minority, being bald or balding, and what have you. Good-looking guys who fall into pickup art often leave the community after a short spell, whereas the less good-looking guys often spend years pounding the streets, malls, and nightclubs panhandling for pussy. Compare this with when a fairly good-looking guy, unaffiliated with the pickup art community, approaches a woman. Look at the inviting aura surrounding this woman before the man even says a word. We'll look at how this interaction went soon.
You ever been out and like someone just doesn't like you for no reason and you like chase their validation? This is something that happens. We chase validation from people who break rapport with us. It's just one of the things that's hardwired into us because it makes us feel like we're getting rejected. The idea of cat string theory and that we want what we can't have. So we're going to break rapport.
Pickup artist instructor Sin here is implying that breaking rapport with a woman will compel her to chase you, which is like saying that if a homeless man breaks rapport with you, you'll chase after him and give him all of the money in your wallet. There isn't even time in this episode to discuss how flawed this theory is. Pickup art, or PUA, is filled with unproven bullshit theories meant to earn money for its dating coaches or promote their companies. In English-speaking nations, pickup has very much peaked in popularity. It has become heavily stigmatized because today's women, with access to attractive guys on online dating websites, don't like being approached relentlessly by average-looking and below-average-looking guys. Pickup artists have been banned from certain public spaces.
Security at Toronto's Eaton Centre is on high alert after self-proclaimed pickup artists have swarmed the mall.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Their shtick has gotten them kicked out of the Eaton Centre.
Like, he's the third one today. Same thing every time. I'm walking, they'll literally stop right in front of me, and they'll just be like, "You're really beautiful."
We've seen women that have been very unnerved by the approach.
Women are unnerved by the approach of average-looking nice guys, but feel completely comfortable swooning over good-looking convicted felon Jeremy Meeks, whose mugshot on the Stockton Police Department's Facebook page went viral. Women even offered to pay his bail. Why is dating tougher for men nowadays? In the past, before feminism, women weren't expected, able, or in many cases allowed to work. Most jobs involved heavy lifting, digging, or pulling. Real dirty work. Men's work. Women were expected to find a good husband to settle down with, even if he wasn't that physically attractive. A husband that could provide for her and her offspring, and manage the finances. Women dated up in terms of resources, money, and status. That is, they married men with more resources, money, and social status than they had. A sort of money and status hypergamy. Men could often date up in terms of looks because women needed that financial support and lacked status. That is, they could sometimes marry women more physically attractive than themselves. A sort of looks hypergamy. This trade-off kept male and female couples dependent on each other for centuries. But as women gained more rights and society became more feminized, women could secure their own resources. Women entered the office where no heavy lifting was required. There was less societal expectation for them to settle down and stay with a good provider. Women no longer needed to rely on a husband's resources and status. So women became free to be choosy about the type of guys that they went for. They were able to date and marry men purely on physical attractiveness. The trade-off or balance was upset. What's more, the male testosterone-fueled sex drive is much more powerful than that of a female. Men being far more driven to get sex than women were to dish it out created a buyer's market for women that's felt even harder nowadays. Men bring an overabundance in demand, meaning that women can be as stingy as they like with the supply. A sex and psychology blog noted that whoever gets approached is put in a position of power, so is pickier. The average woman is constantly being offered sex and dates, so will naturally only consider the most appealing among her choices. But what will influence her choices? Healthy attraction is mostly driven by 1. Sexual dimorphism, the extent to which a man is masculine and the extent to which a woman is feminine. For example, tallness, a broad chin, a square jaw, but not every man has these or other masculine traits. The image of Hollywood star Tom Welling on the left has been slightly feminized by removing some of his jaw digitally, decreasing his attractiveness somewhat for most women who are attracted to post-pubescent masculine men. In both images he's attractive. The only thing that separates them is some sexual dimorphism. Most adult women would prefer the masculine version. Most men find femininity attractive. For example, short height, neoteny, that's looking young, an hourglass hip-to-waist ratio. Rumor Willis has a massive jaw that would be better suited to a man's face. By removing some of it digitally, she becomes more feminine, more attractive. Nothing else about her face has been altered in the photoshopped image on the right. 2. Indicators of youth and fertility, which is why women tend to prefer full heads of hair in men, why men prefer firm breasts in women, and why men and women prefer smooth, wrinkle-free skin. 3. Health indicators, which is why we tend not to find blemishes, excessive body fat, or deformities attractive. 4. Physical attractiveness. Both men and women read clues to a potential partner's sexual dimorphism, health, youth and fertility, and physical attractiveness in the face and to an extent the body. Men and women are attracted to intrinsic traits that would give their offspring the best chances of survival. Even if we're not immediately looking to reproduce with that person, that impulse is still there in case a pregnancy should occur. Why would it bother you if you hooked up with what you thought was a decent looking woman, only to find the next morning that she looked terrible without makeup? Because you would feel misled about her genetic desirability. Men and women are attracted to physical traits that can be passed on to their offspring. Makeup is not such a trait.
Beauty is not arbitrary. What's handsome is not arbitrary. All around the world, men and women find certain things attractive and other things less attractive.
Sex appeal is not a matter of taste. It's a biological imperative. Evolution is driving how we pick partners. We're hardwired to read genetic clues in a potential mate's face, body shape and sway, and it looks as if women have an even more complex sexual agenda than men.
Realize that your dating life is correct. There's no mistake. If you are good looking, your dating life would reflect it, unless there are extenuating circumstances such as you have Asperger's or don't interact with women. Your looks, money, status, and the type of women you're able to date are correlated. These clips show men discussing their lack of success with women. There is a strong correlation between their being 20 to 40-year-old virgins and them being average or below average looking. This man is involuntarily celibate or incel.
I've never had a woman compliment me on my appearance in real life, which leads me to suspect one of two things. One is that I'm really not all that attractive, and people that tell me so online are only doing it to try to spare my feelings or make me feel better.
Which man looks more confident? It's not so much that confidence makes a man look attractive, but rather, being attractive makes a man look confident. Good-looking men also usually feel confident because of positive reinforcement due to the validation that they get from women. Women treat good-looking men nicer and make it easier for good-looking men to fuck them, which in turn makes good-looking men feel more confident. Remember Johnny from The Hague? His personality, attitudes, opinions, behaviors, level of confidence, and sense of self-worth have been shaped by how women treat him because of his looks.
Als zo'n playboy voor je komt, heb je geen kans. Het is allemaal scheidwijven. Nou, laat me ze opdonderen, laat me zitten. Heb je niks aan die wijven.
How the hell is he supposed to be confident? Most women are attracted to men as tall as they are or taller. Some women, like this one, will rule men out on height alone. Hollywood's Taylor Lautner got obliterated in the comments on this picture.
OMG, met Taylor Lautner. OMG. Not okay.
He's so little, what the heck, huh?
His height completely killed it. Wow, this is kinda sad.
OMG, how does that even happen?
I'm 5 foot.
This is Stu, and Rob, who's 5'3", and David, 5'6". We recruited a few taller men and put them in lineups behind a two-way mirror. Then we invited groups of women to choose a date. Since doctors are hot, we gave Rob an MD. The ladies' choice?
Andrew. I would say Matt, I think.
No, Rob. We upped the ante and told the women that besides being a doctor, he was also a best-selling author and champion skier who just built his own ski house.
Does that affect your choices? He's still short.
So what would it take to get a date for Stu at 5 feet? We made him a millionaire.
No. No?
Not for me.
Nothing worked.
He's too short. Too short?
We asked if there was anything Stu irresistible.
Maybe the only thing you could say is that the other 4 are hers.
Maybe the only thing you could say is that the other 4 are hers.
Coming up, we start to look at the race red pill.
Do white girls like black guys?
Yes!
But is this just virtue signaling to not look shallow?
Yes.
No, she hesitated. Yes. That means a no.
We dig deeper. Listen to the traits that this Asian man seeks in a woman.
Like, there was this huge barricade whenever I saw blonde hair, blue eyes, and the crest-like smile. I was terrified.
But he's about to get brutally red-pilled.
I tend to go for taller guys, and my type tends to be...
We'll find out what in the next part. As promised, the cheating dating experiment. Just because a woman is dating a below average or average looking guy doesn't mean that she isn't looking to monkey branch directly into the masculine arms of a better looking mate. How the fuck can you be under the illusion that men's looks aren't majorly important to women when they even matter to an extent to other heterosexual men?
He's an insecure little bitch. Soft. Emo. Wears a hat every battle because he's bald. Chemo.
How easy is dating for below average looking women? And later, what can you do to improve your looks? We're just getting started.
Do you find Asian guys sexy?
No.